We said yesterday, we said there are fluctuations in demand. Most cases the supply is constant and the demand is changing up and down. So how do we manage that? So what are the two strategies we came up with? What are the main two strategies? See, can you see on the document what is written? It's written that there is a constraint of supply capacity. What is the constraint of supply capacity? It means that in order to increase the supply, there is a constraint. Of course, through the strategies you can increase it, but usually we are constrained with the supply. But demand is fluctuating. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what are the two strategies that are possible? So either we can manage the supply side dynamics or we can manage the demand side dynamics. These are the only two variables, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can only change the supply side dynamics or you can change the demand side dynamics. So how do you do that? So first one, we are saying we are assuming that supply is constant, and how to manage the demand side dynamics. So we said that, can you see, Rakesh, are you able to see controlling demand side dynamics?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Can you just read what is written?
Controlling demand side dynamics. So first one is the altering demand. The manager can attempt to affect demand by developing off-peak pricing schemes, non-peak promotions, complementary services, and reservation systems.
And
Like-
reservation systems.
like
So-
doctors, lawyers, and parlors.
Yes, so altering demand means, see, we are saying that there will be a peak demand in the weekend or during certain time periods. It could be weeks, it could be months, and in a year there could be peak demands. There's a huge need for shifting the demand. So Alvin, what is the example we gave yesterday of altering the demand on the demand side dynamics?
Ma'am, we gave a reservation system and the development of non-peak demand. Like example was MACD giving.
MACD. Okay, so in MACD you are, yes, what are you doing in MACD?
We are giving breakfast options.
Yes, so you are ensuring that there's a footfall of customers in the entire day. It should not be just in pocket, so we are ensuring. Then off-peak pricing means we are shifting, like people said, ma'am, happy hour. So happy hour means that in the weekdays there is a better pricing. It's a off-peak pricing. And then complementary services means in case someone is coming to us on the off-peak time, we are going to give them an offer. And reservation systems, very, very important. We want to reduce the waiting line of customers, and that is why we are giving specific slots, appointments. So examples are doctors, lawyers, even Urban Clap they are giving. So that makes it easier for the customer to know when the service is provided, and it becomes easier for the company also when we want to give the service. So okay, so you are making, so in this demand side dynamics, we are making changes in pricing. So pricing is what you said, that matinee prices and coupons and 1+1 offer, and how you can change the pricing, so that we are just shifting the demand, we are altering the demand, because we are doing this because it's a high demand and we don't want to lose the customer. Second one, we are developing non-peak demand. Non-peak means there are two durations. One is when the demand is on the peak, and one is when the demand is low. So there's a huge gap. So we can stabilize and we can say there is a stable demand in the weekdays, in the month. So McDonald's and even like hotels offer during the non-peak demand. Developing complementary services. Complementary services means because customers are waiting for a service. So in the airport you have a lounge, in the cafeteria, and in the hotel when you want to go for dining, we are going to give some complementary service, like just like a welcome drink, and we ask them to wait. So creating reservation systems, we have discussed yesterday. that certain time periods are overbooked, certain time periods are underbooked. So how is it that we can give a time slot? By giving a time slot, we ensure this is your timing, this is the facility at which the service will be provided. So there is a insurance of service quality in the way we do the reservation system. So these are some of the strategies of managing the demand side dynamics, the pricing, shifting the demand, creating reservation system. There is also one strategy, right? There are two variables. So demand side we did. Now we are saying how can we control supply side dynamics. So supply side dynamics means we are trying to increase the capacity that we have when there is a surge or when there is an increase in the demand. So first one is using part-time employees. Part-time employees, definitely yesterday we had that example, right, that almost everyone is filing income tax during the March period, and it is for professionals and corporates and so on. So we take on part-time CS, we give our work to the freelance. In fact, Alvin, if you agree that there are websites also where you can go and you can file your income tax returns, right? Yes. So these are the additional services that we are going to do. Alvin, you want to say something about a peak in financial service during a particular time?
During that period of time, websites and business like ClearTax. I mean, ClearTax.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
they'll offer the services. People, they'll actually hire interns for doing that on behalf of them.
Okay, so that's good.
My friends were going there during this peak season. They were interns, and
Okay.
actually they were doing the filing on behalf of people.
On the behalf of the company, good. And there are also companies like in recruitment also we are taking up part-time consultants. So on behalf of the consulting company, HR consulting company, so they are also doing it. Yes. So this is a good example where the fluctuation in demand as and when it is going to be there, we are going to take on people. Why are we doing this class? Why are we doing it? Why are we increasing additional demand and additional supply in this case? Why are we creating a supply capacity increase? Kriti, we are on how to manage the supply and demand because supply is constant and demand is fluctuating. So you need to have some strategies, right? So in the first strategy, we said demand shifting. So altering the demand, shifting the demand from peak season to non-peak, we create reservation systems, we give better pricing in our off-peak season. And now we have come to, after the demand side techniques, we are on the supply time techniques. So supply side techniques means what are the variations in supply capacity that we can do. So first one, we are using part-time employees. Yes, I'm saying yes, as a company, like just now Alvin said that ClearTax is bringing on interns or it is outsourcing some of its financial service. The HR consulting company, they outsource in the recruitment and even payroll when the number of employees are high, they kind of. So why is it that as a company we are doing this? The changes in the supply capacity.
Demand.
Sorry?
To keep up with the demand, no?
Yeah. So in cases where demand is low, the supply will be manageable. Our existing supply will be manageable, our existing capacities. But in case of a higher demand, what do you do? Okay. Yesterday I gave one example about sharing of capacities. Can anyone recall that I have given an example of sharing of capacities as a supply side technique? Class?
Like doctors sharing the cost of equipments.
Yes. So yes, so that's the example. That's the second example, that sharing of capacity by hospitals. Few hospitals are having few departments, so we share with the other hospital, and in turn both the hospitals end up catering to more kind of companies. So this is the fourth example, sharing of capacity. So sharing of capacity also happens in IT companies. IT companies means example, WeWork is there, they have offices, right? So one company will come in the morning 9 to 5, then let us say we need for the evening shift and then the midnight shift and so on. So we also, so one company will go, the other company will come. So this is how we are sharing capacity, and at the same time it is a less cost for the company who are sharing the capacity. This way, yes.
Companies like construction companies do a lot of sharing capacity, where they rent the machines and the things to build the roads and all.
Yes, yes, that's true.
Buying it.
That's true, because some of these heavy equipment companies like Caterpillar and all, the machinery goes on. L&T also has in India and in abroad, Caterpillar. So these some of these machinery, heavy equipment are very expensive, and you may really do not want to purchase and keep. So yes, whenever there is a real estate project like a bridge or a digging and heavy kind of a digging and so on, so you take that on sharing capacity. Good. So that works out as a lower cost for the company, and based on the fluctuating demand we are going to manage. So see the example on the text. Example, hospitals. One would buy cardiac equipment, gynecological and obstetrician, another kidney machines. So participating doctors would have admitting privileges at all hospitals, which means let there be any kind of a problem, the hospital is in a position to take the customer because we are sharing the capacity. By sharing equipment, hospitals would not only better use expensive resources. Most of these medical equipments are imported mostly from Europe and so on, the eye care machine, the cardiac machines. So yes, by sharing equipment, even you have seen that the testing part and all is also outsourced by the hospitals. Have you noticed?
Yes, ma'am. That happened in Goa. So what happened was their testing facility broke down for coronavirus. So they kept sending the samples to Pune. They had like
Pune, yeah. So Pune is actually the first place. One lady has developed the first testing equipment, and she has now and from her now I think the other companies are trying to take a clue. So by sharing equipment, hospitals will not only better use expensive resources, but a group of, so this is about sharing. Even airlines see the planes need to kind of board, right? They need to park somewhere. So this parking space also is shared. How? Because every flight has a different timing, and it's not like everyone is flying together and coming back differently. So the same parking space is shared by the airline companies. Several airlines with infrequent flights and at the airport, they share the gates, they share the baggage handling equipment, and sometimes they also share the ground personnel of the airport, and this helps both the companies. So I said in supply side dynamics, first one is we are using part-time employees, we are using sharing of capacity, and second one is efficiency. Efficiency means, I gave an example of cross training. Cross training means in hospitality, one hotel management graduate is trained in all the departments. So whenever there is a high peak, they kind of double up for front office, for housekeeping, and so on. So this is called cross training of employees. As and when demand increases, let's say at Amazon or the IT companies or software development, and that is the reason that in a company they ask for higher number of skills, because they know that in case of a peak demand, we can bank on this person. So cross training can improve the efficiency. Third one, see, we will end up as a service company, we will end up with a lot of workload if we are going to do everything. Reason, the service production and service consumption happen at the same time. So we have to ensure that we produce and the consumer is consuming at the same time. Since we have this advantage that the consumer is a part of the service when we are producing, we can have one more strategy of supply side dynamics, that is called increasing the consumer participation, which means that, for example, Amazon Go. In Amazon Go, what is it? We have offered a store with technology. The customer comes, they pack their own things, they pack their own, they do their own billing also. So Amazon Go is a perfect example where because see, if we ask them to come to website, then they will first enter, then we have to stock it, we have to deliver it. Yes, we are doing that, but this is another way. And you do notice that nowadays groceries is like a self-service thing, right? So people just go into a store, they pack, and they just have to weigh and they have to bill. So this way, the service company is reducing their participation. Then making your own salad, having your own service gas stations, insurance forms where the forms can be filled online by the customer. So these are ways of increasing your customer participation and reducing the time and the workload of the service company only during cases when the demand is high. So when the demand is like kind of minimal or low, then we try to take care of almost all the processes and procedures. So these are supply side dynamics. Last one, if none of these strategies working, then we go and we invest. We try to increase the, the number of seats, the number of rooms that we are there. Let's say, suppose if it's in Goa and it's a Goa, Pondicherry, it's a property where there is a high demand always, and we are unable to share the capacity with the other hotel chains. Then in that case, expansion with the vision in the mind that there is going to be a huge predicted demand in future for the next 5 years. So we go ahead and expand the service company. So these are some of the supply side dynamics.